Okay, let's start another video, part 2 of the Mega Man, Dster, Pentagon pair, and secret formulas. And if you like the video, please do subscribe, share, and like my video. And you can donate by emailing me for any game prediction, or if you want to learn my system, email me at hyper_links@yahoo.com. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe so you can get insight on my video. And please do donate by emailing me. And also remember, nothing is guaranteed, but always trust yourself. And once again, last draw, nobody won. It went from 200 to 270 min to 297 min, and 297 will be the highest because nobody won. The winning numbers were 4 even, 1 odd, 4 low, 1 high. So even, odd, low, high advantage. And the Pentagon pair system will have 4, 28, 30, 60, and 69. The Pentagon, the code will be 29. 29 is your code. And as I show you that the first draw did not have any red numbers, so I will skip the first draw. By skipping the first draw, 28 would be eliminated. You see that 28 would be eliminated by a lot of matrix law of elimination. After you eliminate 28, do not stop. Test out if it's going to eliminate more numbers. By testing out, all the way down to the 6th draw, not using Tuesday's draw, you up to 30 numbers, 6 times 5 draws. 30 numbers could be 30 numbers could be eliminated, and even though it eliminated 30 numbers, 28 was eliminated from the matrix, which was drawn. And if you use the 7th draw, that 4 would get eliminated. So that's why I try to show you the grid, that all these numbers got eliminated by bringing the matrix down a lot of numbers. But you bring too much of a matrix, you got to know when to stop. By bringing too much of a matrix, you will limit the winning numbers from the draw. So why did we stop here? Because last draw, we had 9, 10 draw without eliminating, we have like 6, 7 draw without eliminating winning numbers. And that means that it was effective using 6, 7 draw for Tuesday's draw, because 6, 7 draw of numbers did not eliminate the winning numbers. But last draw, 28 got eliminated. And as you can see, that if there's no red numbers from here to here, you will limit the 23 from the previous draw. See, 23 got limited. From the 8th draw. So last draw it worked for 7th draw before limit on Tuesday draw it worked for 7th draw before limit the 23. So again, let's try to show everybody the new Dster first. The new Dster 2 for Tuesday's draw. I showed you Dster 1. If you haven't checked out Dster 1, you can watch the previous video. For Dster 1, this is Dster 2 for Tuesday's draw. Now 4, if you try to use last draw for this Tuesday's draw, that's where the number stands. You have 4, 28, 29, not there. You have to use the blue box, 30, 60, you have to use the blue box, and 25 right over here. So mostly this section hit. So again, try to see where the numbers are. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So all digits are here. So this Dster sounds more consistent than the previous Dster, but that doesn't mean that the previous Dster won't hit. It might hit, so because they have all the digits. So now let's get to the numbers. So for the other formula, so for instance, the draw 1, using the draw 1 number, For the formers, we have 6, 23, 43, 49, and 52. So this will be a draw 1. Now, so this will be your draw 1. Let's do one of the formula first. Okay. Here we go. Let's do one of the formulas first. Let's copy and paste your draw 1's number. 6, 23, 43, 49, and 52. So using draw 1's, the law of opposite attraction for last draw, this will be your draw 2 for this Tuesday's draw. Opposite attract numbers are 16, not in any specific order. 25, 32, 34, and 49. Your opposite attraction number for your second draw. Now, if you look at the winning combination, 4, 28, 29, 30, and 60. Look at the one of the combination. 4, 28, 29, 30, and 60. The 60 would be eliminated using the law of opposite attraction for last draw. So law of opposite attraction didn't really do good because it eliminated the 60. Doesn't mean you're going to eliminate more numbers. Now draw 1 for repetition, mirror numbers. So for repetition mirror numbers, not in any specific order, we have 31. We have 58. We have 8. 14. We have 17. So 4, 28, 29, 30, and 60. Law of repetition mirror numbers did not eliminate any of the winning numbers using the first draw. Now, you see the law of repetition? We're 6, 23, 43, 49, and 52. So law of repetition, law of elimination did eliminate the winning number on the second draw, which was 28, but on the first draw, it did not eliminate any of the winning numbers. So once again, you can check repetition mirror numbers to see if any of the winning numbers would get eliminated for each draws. So I'm up to 42 now. 42, 52, 5, 10, and 53. So on your draw 1, on your draw number 1, we have 6, 23, 43, 49, and 52. So your law of the plus Powerball, the ball is 5. So I'm going to, the ball is 5. So law of your plus Powerball would be 11. $28 got eliminated. 48, 54, and 57. So the only option is to check the law of repetition mirror numbers, see how many draws it goes. So as you can see, the law of elimination, the law of Plotmecable also limit the 28. So that being said, last draw was a tricky draw because as you can see, not because the formula didn't work, because they want to hold the jackpot so nobody wins. So formula does work. It will work. You can see not only was the draw tricky because they formed 3 consecutive. Nobody's going to pick 3 consecutive numbers. You check all draws from way down. Let's start. There are no 3 consecutive numbers, 28, 29, and 30. That was why it was tricky draw, because they want to hold the jackpot. You try to go for 3 consecutives, you're not going to win. You can go scroll up. No 3 consecutive numbers. That's why it was so hard, because there are three numbers in each range from 10 to 20, 21 to 30, 31 to 40, 41 to 50, but no 3 consecutive numbers. If you look at the past draws, no 3 consecutive numbers. So that's why last draw was tricky, not because the formula didn't work, because they want to throw in 3 consecutive numbers to hold the jackpot. They already draw 3 consecutive numbers for the draw. Now the only option is to look at the grid. I'm going to look at the grid. Logarithmic matrix law of repetition mirror numbers. So I'm going to do the law repetition mirror numbers. Repetition mirror numbers. Logarithmic matrix law, repetition mirror number. So I'm not going to do it in any specific order. So for 420, let's look at the 420 draw. And I told you what the repetition mirror numbers are. They were 31, 58, 31, 58, 8, 14, 17. 8, 14, 17. Now, using drawer number 2, repetition numbers for 17, 27, 28, 50, and 55. Do you see that? The law of repetition mirror numbers for that draw is not in any specific order. 52, 62, 63, 20, and 15. So now we'll do one more. 10, 15, 19, 45, and 68. So let's look at the win numbers. The win numbers were 4, 28, 29, 30, and 60 was the win number. So next draw we have 45, 50, 23, 10, and 54. So the law of repetition mirror numbers, as you can see, is right over here. 3 draws. So as you can see, none of these numbers were eliminated using the law of repetition mirror numbers. You can see none of these numbers were eliminated using law of repetition member numbers. So your next draw are 22, 26, 27, 58, and 66. So we have 22, which is the next draw starting point. So repetition member numbers for these draws are 57, not in any specific order, 31, 23, 62, and 61. 62 and 61. So again, you can see none of the win numbers were eliminated using the repetition member up to 4 draws. So we're going to do 5 draws with 1, 19, 20, 32, and 42. So we have 36. We have 7. We have 67. We have 55 and 54. So even though law of elimination didn't work, law of repetition mirror numbers did work. It worked up to 5 draws. 5 draws of numbers got eliminated. So let's look at the color code with for the first draw we have 31, 58, 8, 14. 14 is a red number. So 14 is a red number. You have one red number. That's a good starting point, and 17. So automatically, I use the first draw for matrix law repetition mirror numbers. We're not eliminating any win numbers. Got close. 31 got close, and 58 got close, but they're not. So the second draw, the red numbers are 52, 62, 63, 20. 20 is a red number. So it stayed consistent with 1 red numbers and 15. So the third draw, the red numbers are 45, 50, 23, 10. 10 is a red number, stay consistent, and 54. So it's a little bit tricky to continue or not because it did not eliminate a lot of win numbers. A lot of red, did not have a lot of red numbers. So in the fourth draw, 57, 31, 23, 62, and 61. So I did not have any red numbers on this draw. So that means I might want to have to stop here, or take my chance. If I go on, we have 36, 7, 67, 55, and 54. So no red numbers. You can see how the two format differs because the law of elimination uses the same numbers. That's why the patterns are different. You're going to have a lot of red numbers when you use the same numbers. Now, when you use different numbers, when you use the repetition mirror numbers, don't have the same numbers. So that's a little bit tricky. You have to use this formula and decide differently. Not decide on red numbers, but decide on something other than red numbers. So, as you can see, the 2 draws, you can track the pattern of each draw. Now, I'm going to use one more draw. We have 10, 42, 48, 53, and 62. So 45, 27, 18, 13, 7. So again, no numbers are limited after the sixth draw, because 420, you got to add 420 the date of that draw back, and 27 is a red number, and that's it. 27 is a red number. So you have one red numbers. So you can see the pattern. A lot of red numbers should have occur in the lottery matrix law of repetition. Lottery law of elimination. Lottery law of repetition do not have a lot of red numbers. So you got to decide on another factor into how many draw you should use. So since it didn't eliminate any more win numbers using law of repetition, we're going to use one more draw. We have 11, 37, 47, 53, and 56. So we're going to factor that in. One more draw. 46, 2, 21, 18, 12. And you can see where the number stands: 46, 2, 21, 18, and 12. A lot of matrix law of repetition for the seventh draw, which is remember you have to add 420 back. We have 46, 2, 21, 18, and 12. If you see that, none of the win numbers were limited as well. So 46, 2, 21, 18, and 12. None of these are red numbers. I'm going to try to do last draw. That's it. I'm going to do one more draw. I'm not going to do any more. 4, 25, 37, 46, and 67. So for the next draw, red numbers are 39, 60, 32, the repetition numbers, 11, and 2. So you can see that 60 would be eliminated by the matrix after the seventh draw. So up to 35 numbers were eliminated. Okay, and that 60 could be another code for last draw also. That 60 was your code for last draw also. Could be so. As you can see, at the sixth draw, you will eliminate seventh draw. You will eliminate the winner because you have to add 425. You will eliminate the number 60. You can see up to 35 numbers could be eliminated. Let's count the repeats. So let's say you have 35 numbers. You have one repeat, 23. Repeat it once. You will have 31 repeated once, so you have two numbers repeated. You have 62 repeated, 3 numbers repeated. 54, 4 numbers repeated. 7, 5 numbers repeated. So your matrix will brought down about 25 to 30 numbers using matrix law of repetition, and you can see that 60 will be limited on the 7th draw. So you can see why you have to study each format differently. And you can see that elimination must have red numbers. But the law of repetition does not need red numbers to continue because the pattern of repetition comparing to elimination are different, because the elimination using the same repeated same number for last draw, and the repetition use different sets of number, not the repeated number from the history draws. They use mirror numbers from the history draws. So that's why you don't need red numbers for it to work. The previous draw, you need a lot of red. The elimination, we need red numbers for it to work. So once again, the Dster system for next Tuesday's draw is here, and for week 4 is here also. Now, instead of using red numbers, let's look at the green numbers. Let's look at the green numbers for the repetition. So let's look at green numbers. 31 green numbers means for last draw. The green numbers means it's very, very effective, because since it's not using the repetition of numbers, you're not using the red numbers from last draw, from the previous. You're not using the same number from previous draw. The red number will not work. So what do? You use green numbers for the law of repetition mirror numbers. Let's look at the green numbers for the past draw. 31, still neutral. 58, still neutral. 8, still neutral. And 17, still neutral. So on your first draw, all these numbers are considered neutral. They're not red, they're not green, they're neutral. So 52, 62, 63, 20, and 15. 15 would be your first green number. I hope you guys, let's see if you guys can see the green number. 15 would be your first green number. You see it? I'm looking at the breakdown. 45 is another green number. 50, 23, 10, and 54. 54 will be a green number. Again, you have two green numbers. 57, 31, 23, 62, and 61. 61 will be a green number, so you don't want to have too much green numbers. 36, 7, 67, 55. 55 would be a green number. 54. There's two types of green numbers. The green numbers that you don't want to get eliminated because it's going to come out, high chance coming out, and the green number that's tier 1, there's tier 2 green numbers and tier 1 green number. Tier 1 green numbers has high chance coming out. You do not want those tier 1 green numbers to be wiped out of the matrix. 45 was tier 1 from last draw. From last week's draw, 45, 27, 18, 13, and 7. Not much. Then you have 46, 2, 21, 18, and 12. And then you have 39. You have 60. 60 is considered green, so your 60 will be limited. 60, 32, 11, and 2. So again, that's how you look at. You gotta look at the green number. So you can see it's safe to use the first draw because no green number on the first draw. You can limit those numbers. Your second draw, repetition, you have one red and one green number. So that green number might get drawn. That 15 might get drawn. That 15, if you look at the breakdown, is a tier 2. For those of you that break down, it was a circle. in that group, so it's a tier 2 green number. So that means it might not get drawn. Now you have 45 and 54. 45 is a tier 1 green number, and 54 is a tier 2 green number. So after looking at the breakdown, I have tier 1 and tier 2 green numbers. I would not eliminate. Might use one more draw because you don't have 2 tier 1 green numbers. So I would stop here, and you only have 1 red number. So I would not go on, or I would go on. Let's say I go on, because this one is tricky because you have 2 green numbers. So because they're not 2 tier 1 green numbers, I try to go on. Let's say I go on, I will eliminate 61. 61 is a tier 1 green number. So far I have 2 tier 1 green number eliminated. That's 61 and 45. So do I go on? Let's say I go on 55 and 54. If I look at 55 and 54, they're both tier 2 green numbers. So since they're tier 2 green number, I'm gonna try and take my chance, because in that tier 1, if they were both tier 1, I would have definitely stopped it out in the 4th draw. 55, 54, the tier 2 green numbers. So 45, 27, 18, 13, 7. If 45 is already limited, since they're already limited, why not go on? 46, 2, 21, 18, 12. No green numbers. No green numbers. I'm safe to stop now. I'm safe. So let's go one more draw. We have 39. 39 is and 60. They're both tier 2 green numbers. 39 and 62 tier 2 green numbers. So you have tier 2. Let's write tier 2 for both of them. Tier 2. So if I saw that, probably would have stopped on 6th draw, because it went from 1 green numbers to no green numbers back to 2. That means this is the danger zone. If I wouldn't have stopped it here, I would limit the 39. I would limit the 60 from the winning number, not allowing me to hit that jackpot. So that's why it's important. For the law of repetition, since you're not using the past history of draws, you look at the green numbers. For the law of elimination, you don't look at the green numbers, you look at the red numbers. Look at the red numbers. So that's how each formula will have to work differently. There's different kind of colorization for different kind of matrix. Opposite attraction also will have to use one of the color. Also, law of the power will have to use one of the color also. But law of elimination, you look at the red numbers. Definitely look at the red numbers for law of elimination. So again, if you like the video, please do subscribe, share, and like my video. Email me for any game illustration by parts or any game prediction. Always remember, nothing is guaranteed, but always trust yourself.